Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. Got a domination match for you today on Greece in the Tier 8 Soviet tech tree destroyer, the Delny. Alright, from what I can understand, the Delny is actually part of what's called the Kiev class, also known as Project 48 and Project 48K. Was a smaller class of destroyer leaders after the Tashkent class was canceled, describing the armament as 3 twin 130mm turrets and 4 quintuple tube or 2 quintuple tube torpedo launchers, some other stuff, AA and whatnot. I think because the Kiev is already in the game as the Leningrad class destroyer, that's why they called it Delny, although I don't see that as a name for any of the ships, but 2 of them appear to have been unnamed before this was canceled, if I'm in the ballpark here, in terms of the alleged history of this ship that never existed. If I'm wrong, you can forget everything I just said. Anyway, we are going into the Bravo cap. I am detecting someone, which is very nice of them to be detected. The Delny is a gunboat. And ordinarily you would say Soviet gunboat best played at long range. That's true, but I've found that the Delny can get away with disregarding that extreme long range play that you need with Gnevny and Minsk, or used to need with Gnevny and Minsk, and can play more of an all-arounder role. It is that strong. All right, we got about half the cap here. So I think the Georgia has come into the cap as a whole and preventing us from capping it out. So I'm just kind of repositioning myself. I was thinking about doing a torp run at the Georgia, but that is not going to happen right now. All right, while we're looking at that, let's go to WoW's builds and talk about some stats. Sigma of the Delny 2.0. Fires per minute 4.72. Arming threshold of the armor-piercing shells 22 millimeters. Torpedo detection time 7.05 seconds. So this all should be very familiar to you if you watched any of the other videos, because it's all kind of in line with the Tashkent and the Minsk. All right, the Georgia is moving forward. We are moving forward after inadvertently dodging some enemy torpedoes. I don't know what the Georgia's plan is, but I know what my plan is. All right, we're going to launch one salvo straight at the Georgia, and looks like the Georgia's already on fire. We're just going to try to set them on fire again. Here, angling somewhat to prevent being struck, and we are going to torp our second set, and as they say in Japan, sayonara means goodbye. First blood on the Georgia. Alright, Veneto over there, thankfully we're mostly out of his secondary range, so we're just going to kind of hang out here in the Bravo cap and capture it out. Alright, going back to WoW's builds, the damage record over 250,000 points. The XP record just over 4,000 if you are shooting for that. There are 10 destroyers at Tier 8. So we're going to pick and choose our stats here for our stat comparison while we continue to cap out the base here. And there's a destroyer in that smoke screen. We get an assisted base cap here on Bravo. And I don't know what's going to go next, so I'm going to do my stat comparison right now. Alright, hit points. Helbing, number 1. Almost more than 8,000 hit points more than the Delny, which is number 2. Firing range, the Delny is second to Chungmu by 100 meters. HE DPM, AM Sumner 240,000 is number 1. Delny has almost 100,000. HEDPM lasts at 147, right in the middle at number 5. Max speed, Delny is first, tied with Mogador, 43.5 knots. Sea detectability, Delny is first at 7.6. The next closest ship is Mogador and AM Sumner at 7. That is your stat comparison for the Delny. All right, we moved out of there because some torpedoes were coming in. And we are torping at Vittorio Veneto and just looking around, keeping an eye on things. And man, it looks like the Veneto put on the brakes again already. So he's got a plane up. I'm not really expecting those torpedoes to do a whole lot, but we'll see. I did not want to go over towards Charlie because there's not enough blue support for me over there. So instead, the Veneto, you can see he's turning away. Our torpedoes don't have any chance to get anything done there. All right. Continuing to move around here in the Delny. Well, I feel bad that I gave all the stats now. There's nothing really left to talk about. Oh, boy. All right, let me X out of some of that stuff there. So yeah, this game isn't already. It's probably a much more exciting game than the Minsk game. We are spotted by someone. There is a Yagumo, and here is where you can see the damage that this HE really does. We knock out the Yagumo's propulsion, and even with just 2 turrets on target, we are punishing the Yagumo. Continuing to shoot, we dodge his attempted torpedo salvo. Aim is all over the place. I guess I should learn to lock my turrets onto a target, but I'm not smart enough for that. Anyway, the Yagumo just cannot hang with the speed and velocity. We really punished him there, and pretty soon he should be dead. He is dead. Kill number 2. You're just short of 50,000 points of damage. All right, Peter Baggs over there trying to pinch a kill. Can we even set him on fire? I mean, we hit him at least. Continuing to try to kill pinch. I mean, if I'm spotted, I might as well get a kill pinch out of it. You set him on fire? Oh, and he dies. And he set me on fire in return. How dare you, sir? How dare you? All right, mine's CE over on the other side of the island. Because we are somewhat protected, I am going to light him up. Probably should have switched armor piercing. I did switch to armor piercing. And now the shells are going to continue to go in on the mines. And Yahtzee. Alright, kill number 3. We finally put out the fire. And all of the ships that are left are way down in the middle of the map. Because our team's dominated. We took over all 3 of the cap circles. All right, ZF6 and Jutland, or as my good, close, longtime personal friend Vaz Vegas likes to say, ZF6 and Azedma. I just made that up. It's really Azuma. All right, these guys are not in range. I mean, I would love to be shooting at them, but they're not in range. Jutland took out the Azuma. And I want to say, I think the other enemy ship was Yamato. That's dead. So just 2 destroyers left, folks. And I think you know what this means. It means we might be trying to get a crack in here. Now, our team is dominating, and that is bad. This is one of those scenarios where you're not just trying to kill the enemy ships, but you are fighting against your own team's points. So we're going to torp at the ZF6. We're going to engage the ZF6 with these beautiful guns. Look at that lovely flat trajectory, doing plenty of damage. And the ZF6 gets finished off. Kill number 4. I just need to spot the enemy destroyer. Oh, we just need to see him. I just need to see him. I know he can see me. I cannot see him. And I think it's because this other destroyer's following me around. If he was farther apart from me, maybe we'd be able to spot him. But now you can see the points are over 900. He is into the Bravo cap. And I just need to see him to be able to kill him. Another destroyer going to the Bravo cap. There's the Jutland. We're going to light him up. Can these ballistics save us? He went into a smoke screen, but he's still visible. Can we get him? We set him on fire. Can we? No. And we Kraken failed. Very disappointing. But clearly, you can see the Delny is a Kraken-capable ship. All right, here we are on the victory screen. First blood medal, 63,065 total damage. 4 big kills and an assisted base cap. We ended up with 377,100 silver and 6294 ship XP and commander XP in the Delny. All right, moving on to the team result. There we are at the top of the board. 2797 base XP with those 4 big kills. If I just could have gotten the Jutland at the end of the game there, we could have that Kraken unleashed. But it was not to be, because as you know, my teammates never give up. All right, in a minute here, we're going to go into the port and take a look at the ship. All right, in terms of the modifications, aiming systems mod 1, propulsion mod 2, concealment system mod 1, and main battery mod 3. Of course, the Delny is fully upgraded. Take a look at the loadout. You've got choice of either 2 charges of the repair party or 2 charges of the smoke generator. Because radar and sonar are so prevalent at this tier, I went with the heals. Also got 2 engine boosts. We were running the common battle boost for speed, the temporary type 1 camouflage, and the early adopter flag. 22,000 hit points with our build. You got those 3 twin 130mm turrets, 11.1 kilometer firing range, 4-second reload, 10.9 second turn time, HE shells 2050 max damage with an 8% fire chance. AP shells 2850 max damage. 2 quintuple tube launchers reload every 129 seconds. Max damage 15,100. 8 kilometer range at 65 knots. The detectability is 1,200 meters. All right, the Delny actually has good AA. Probably one of the only Soviet destroyers that has good AA. You can see your main battery is dual purpose and does count. Max speed 44.8 knots, 760 meter turning circle, 5.4 second rudder shift time. Concealment 5.8 on the surface, 3.3 from the air, 2.9 when firing from smoke. All right, armor viewer, you can see you do have a heavier plate along the midships there. I guess it could be kind of like an armor belt of sorts. So keep that in mind if you are facing the Delny. Here is Vladimir Trubetskoy, and essentially the same build that you have in the Tashkent video. Observant Rage, Look at Me Now, Twisted Track, which you may not need, and Cloudy Days. The turrets do turn quick enough. You don't need smoke in the water if you're not using a smoke screen, by the way. So you could switch Twisted Track to Perceptive if you wanted. But anyway, that's how I had it set up in this game. Anyway, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button.